Here's what we know right now. 21-year-old Austin Ish, 27-year-old Tiffany Herrera, and a juvenile are in custody, charged with murder, abuse of a corpse, tampering with evidence, and theft. The person they're accused of killing, 57-year-old Donnell Brown.
You know, as Mr. Brown was a resident of Covington, it's very emotional for the members of that neighborhood and for our community as a whole. We've had a great outpouring of support from neighbors and that community, and specifically just that surrounding area where he was from. They've been very helpful in helping us put things together.
But if you ask people here in the neighborhood, they'll tell you that Ish was Herrera's boyfriend. Now, as for Brown, that's where it gets a little bit more complicated. Everyone agreeing he looked out for Herrera, but some saying they believe there was more between them. Neighbor Melissa Golden says she was shocked to hear Austin Ish was involved.
I knew him, but not all that well as I thought I did, apparently. I mean, he was always over there sharpening knives and stuff. I thought that was just his hobby.
About 3 or 4 weeks ago, he actually threatened to cut my father.
He said, I just love her, and I just want it to work so bad. I'll do anything to make it work.
Now family and friends are left grieving not only the man they loved, but the gruesome death that took him. I do want to mention that Brown did have a record, according to Boone County officers. They say he was booked there twice back in 2006 for trafficking cocaine. Reporting live in Covington tonight, Jennifer Grove, Fox 19 News.
Taking care of business
every day.
Taking care of business.
Working overtime.
Hi, welcome back. This is Operation Evil coming to you.
And I'm Nyoka.
And I'm Rachel. Okay. We do we do have some business this week, I think. Anyway, we're looking into Patreon stuff and things that we can offer people and things that we want to eventually offer people. And what else? We've been looking into PO boxes. We've been looking into all the things.
That's expensive.
Yeah, that's going to wait a while.
When are the days when things were like gas 30 cents? I don't know.
We are looking into some stuff.
T-shirts. We have had a request for T-shirts.
We have. We will look into that. We have lots of things on our to-do list. Whether or not they'll be done sooner or later, I don't know.
They'll get did, though.
They will. They will. And true crime news. The whole Gabby case. How do you say your last name? Patino.
I don't know.
That's like a thing right now everybody's talking about, and I think we'll eventually cover that one.
Yeah, when it seems like it's more
when we have somewhat of a closure, maybe. I don't know. But we should cover like current cases that probably aren't solved yet, just to throw it out there. Maybe somebody's listening, who knows.
We did have an suggestion to do some cold cases.
Yep.
And we do have is it Peggy Casey? Was that the name?
Yep.
That we are going to do a story, so if anybody knows who that is.
Yeah.
If you want to share any info that you have about her.
Also, I would like to do an episode about like crime scene cleanup people and what they have to deal with because you don't really think of the aftermath of crimes.
Mm-hmm.
But if anyone listening does that for a living or knows someone that does that for a living, can you please email us at operationevilpodcast@gmail.com? I would really love to talk to you.
Yeah, that is a very interesting job.
Yes. Yeah. I definitely would like to look into that. See if it's episode worthy.
Definitely.
Yeah. I don't know. That was a really loud truck out there. If you heard it, it finally stopped.
Always. Or
it's always,
a motorcycle.
It was quiet until we pressed record. I feel like there was something else.
Was it quiet? Was it really?
I mean, we weren't quiet, but
No.
our surroundings. Oh, also, I'm pretty excited.
About those blow pops?
I was looking at those. Netflix 2022. Evan Peters will be playing the part of Jeffrey Dahmer. And we definitely need to do an episode on that. We will watch that and talk about it.
Yes.
And I think you guys should do it with us. So that's something to look forward to. What else?
The drunken episode?
Yes, we still have the drunken episode to do, which that will be done before Halloween. We've decided that.
We have some fun plans planned for Halloween.
We do. Yeah.
We're trying to be famous, okay?
Yeah. We're putting that out there in the universe.
Yeah.
See what happens. I wish you guys could see her right now. It's great. All right, but I think that's all really the business that we had. We just wanted to catch you up on some thoughts that were...
Oh, God, you just made me think of that stupid girl. Cash me outside.
Cash me outside. How about that?
Stupid girl.
She might be, but she's making all kinds of money now. Kind of smart.
I don't think she is.
Well, she'd make money.
I hope she hears this.
No. She's got money to come after us.
She'll sue us.
For our whole $5.
Don't sue me for my Ford Fusion that I bought with my own husband's money.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so we're trying to do some more local cases. You guys seem to like that. So this one is a little gruesome. I just wanted to give that warning ahead of time.
And you probably know somebody who knows somebody.
Who knows somebody?
Yes.
Because this took place in Covington, Kentucky.
Again.
I can't believe how much happens in Covington, Kentucky.
It's so murderous.
Very murderous. So let's begin. A Covington man was found 4 days after he disappeared. On September 29th, 2011, police said that the body of Donnell Brown, 57, was found inside a vacant apartment in the 1300 block of Greenup Street around 2:45 p.m. Police say Brown was a resident of Covington, but did not live in the house where his body was found. Family members of Donnell Brown approached officers to ask if the body was, in fact, that of their loved one. They stated Brown had been missing for several days and that they were looking for him at the residence because they knew that he had some kind of a relationship with a woman named Tiffany Herrera, who lived in that building. So Donnell Brown's wife, Sharon Brown of Burlington,
Kentucky?
Burlington, Kentucky.
Oh.
Yes, she said that her estranged husband moved to Covington in August and was staying with his son and his son's wife. Family members said Brown had health problems and had missed a doctor's appointment, and they reported him missing after waiting the required 48 hours. I think it's different with adults. They make you wait 48 hours before you can report them.
I think so. Yeah, I think you're right.
They said the day prior to his body being discovered, Tiffany told them that she had not seen Brown in a couple of days, but the last time he was there, Brown told her he wanted to be with his deceased mother and to tell his children he loved him. The family did not believe Brown was suicidal, and now that the body has been found, they were convinced that Tiffany had something to do with his disappearance. Mm-hmm.
So we're going to talk about the scene now. So responding officers discovered a spine-chilling scene that one could only imagine seeing in a horror movie. To their disbelief, they discovered a human torso in the bathtub of the vacant apartment.
Oh my gosh.
Additionally, officers located severed limbs in a garbage bag, or in multiple garbage bags that were piled in a plastic tub located in the same bathroom. The victim's severed head was located on the floor at the end of the bathtub. So all in the same room. The head was on the floor. The bags in the bathtub and a bin.
Yeah.
So the officers set up a perimeter around the multifamily dwelling. Wasn't it like an apartment complex kind of thing?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was like a multi-family
Unit.
Yeah.
So the detectives secured a search warrant. While securing the crime scene, Covington police officer James Miscannon was approached by a young man later identified as 17-year-old Quentin Colinda?
Yeah, I believe that's how you say it.
The officer quickly noted what appeared to be bloodstains on his pants. Colinda told the officer that he sometimes lived in the rear apartment of the same building in which the body was located, but also lived in another apartment a block away. So he had two residences, or he would stay there with someone else, I guess?
It sounded like he was like a couch surfer almost.
Yeah. So after Colinda admitted to being present in the apartment 2 of the past 3 days, and given the apparent blood evidence on his pants, like, how stupid can you be?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they do say, though, that some of these people they come back to the crime scene to see what's going on. So the detectives transported him to the Covington police headquarters for further questioning.
Okay, so pause. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Okay.
So they're at the murder scene. It's gruesome. It's crazy. And so this kid's going to walk up with with blood splattered on him and was like, "Hey, man, how's it going, cop? Sometimes I stay here and sometimes I stay over there. I mean, is this how this went down? And why would you approach the officer?
I know.
I just don't understand it. I need to know more.
Guilty conscience?
Please tell me. Is it the age that made him not think about this a little bit?
Possibly.
I mean, he was 17 at the time. But come on, Quentin. What's going on?
I just know if it was me, I wouldn't be going around no cops.
No. Why? And you're going to murder someone or be part of it or whatever the case may be, and you're going to just have that evidence on you and approach an officer? Like, how's it going?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I wonder, because we didn't find anything, but I wonder if the cop or one of the police officers asked him, "What's that blood on your pants?" I wonder what he said.
He was probably like, "Oh, yeah. Forgot about that." No, I don't. That's not a quote. I'm just...
No. It's usually, "Oh, I cut my hand."
It's very odd. Okay, so a short time later, a man and a woman exit the rear apartment. And
what is this, a party?
I don't know. And said the rear apartment that the Colinda guy said that he sometimes lived in. Detectives identified the pair as 27-year-old Tiffany Herrera and 21-year-old Austin Esch, or Ish.
I think it's Ish.
Ish. The couple was taken in for questioning as well. So, I mean, people just kept walking up to the cops like, "Hey, I don't understand this. I need more answers."
Like a psychoanalysis of this.
Yeah, I need to know how exactly this went down. So, as the trio were questioned by the seasoned police detectives, Brian Fuller and Mike Thompson, their stories quickly begin to unravel. Eventually, each of the suspects admitted to cleaning up the crime scene, cutting up the body, and going together to pawn jewelry taken from Brown's body. But each also pointed their finger at another suspect when laying blame on who actually killed Brown. The three also agreed that Herrera described Brown as her, quote, sugar daddy, and would routinely exchange cash or heroin for sexual favors.
What a good trade!
Each of the suspects was arrested and charged with murder, theft, tampering with evidence, and abuse of a corpse. Colinda was originally charged as a juvenile, but soon turned 18 and was transferred to adult court. All three were charged the same way, which I just told you, with no witnesses other than the defendants to indicate how Brown died or who actually killed him. The prosecution team of the Commonwealth's attorney, Rob Sanders, and Assistant Commonwealth's attorney, Casey Burns, was tasked with getting one defendant to testify against the others, believing that the then juvenile was the least guilty. The prosecutors approached his attorneys first for a meeting to see what their clients' versions of events would be under oath. When he told prosecutors he wasn't even present when Brown was killed, but was recruited after the fact by Ish, why can't I get that right?
Ish.
To clean up the scene, because that's what I would do if somebody was like, hey, I need help. I just killed somebody. Help me clean.
Well, you could only speculate that maybe drugs was involved as well with that.
It has to have been.
Big speculation.
So anyways, Kalinda and Herrera admitted to killing Brown, but claimed Brown attacked her. Kalinda said that he did not believe Herrera's story of being attacked because she wasn't at all upset that Brown was dead and refused to call the police. Kalinda and Herrera had also stolen Brown's jewelry, and the three went together to pawn it. Lastly, they used the money from the pawn shop to buy more drugs.
Wow. Now, it was also said that she cut his penis off. Herrera.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And that it was about $500 in cash is what they stole from him, too.
Wow. Mm-mm.
Yeah. So prosecutors then approached Ish's attorneys for a meeting to ask Ish to describe the events. So was Ish and this Herrera girl, were they together?
That's what it sounds like to me. Or maybe he just really wanted to be with her. But it did sound like there was something more there.
Yeah. So essentially Ish told the same story as Kalinda, except with the added facts that Herrera lived with him as his girlfriend. So there we go.
Okay.
Even though he knew she still prostituted herself for drugs and money. Ish said Herrera had been using heroin for at least a day before running out of drugs, and said when he went to sleep, Herrera was told, I guess she was going to meet Brown to get more drugs for money. Ish said the next thing he knew, Herrera woke him up and said she needed help because she had killed Brown by slicing his throat. Supposedly, he attacked her and she grabbed a knife and slit his throat.
Yeah.
And also, I saw somewhere too where supposedly she took out an emergency protective order against him, against Brown.
I would like to know,
what are the details?
Yeah. What are the details, and how long before the murder did she take this out?
Yeah.
And yeah,
I tried to find out more information about that too, and I couldn't find anything.
No.
So if anybody finds more details about that, please.
Yeah,
let
I mean,
us
this
know.
is a local story. There's got to be somebody out there that knows something more.
Yeah.
You can only find so much.
Mm-hmm. So she slit his throat. Ish agreed with Kalinda that Herrera was running the show, refused to call the police, and did not act at all like someone who had really been attacked.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know how you can do something like that and pretend that you didn't do something like that and just go about your day.
I mean, unless you're just truly I
guess drugs
psychopath.
change you. And,
well, yeah.
Well, there's drugs and there's mental illness, and maybe there's both. And
mixture of the two. But it didn't, from reports or anything that we read, it didn't seem like that when she did the crime that she was on drugs. Did it to you?
No, it sounded like she was kind of desperate to get drugs.
Right. Like she was coherent.
Yeah, but maybe not. Who knows how this happens.
Yeah. So investigators said that the night of his death, of Brown's death, Herrera met him in the vacant apartment to get $40. Additionally, investigators stated that Brown and Herrera would often meet, and he would give her drugs or money in exchange for sex. She claimed Brown got physical with her, so that's when she cut his throat. He was still alive.
He was still alive after she cut his throat.
Yeah. So according to the police, when she left to go get Ish and Kalinda, they came back to the apartment and they agreed Mr. Brown needed to be finished off or killed.
Wow.
And that was said by Detective Brian Fuller. Miss Herrera gave testimony that Mr. Ish produced a knife, lifted Mr. Brown's head, and cut his throat. The Kenton County coroner has determined that Brown died from a slit throat and not from a stab wound that was also delivered to his chest. So, it sounds like to me he was already dead, and they just went back and stabbed him?
I don't know where the stabbing comes in, because they don't mention it any more than just that area. So if she slit his throat, do you think maybe she stabbed him after because he didn't die? Or
maybe it was one of them things where they...
Or was it a self-defense stab? Or... I don't know. I mean, they never mentioned anything more on the whole stabbing thing.
Maybe she just...
Why stab him? Anyway.
I guess it could have been we got to make sure that he is dead, or just a final,
But if they sliced his throat open...
Yeah.
Twice... Why would you need to stab him? I have so many questions on this case. I do. All right. I'll keep going.
I know, it's a puzzler.
It is. So according to the detective, Esch admitted in his interrogation to dismembering Brown, but denies any part of the killing. So he denies being that person to slice his throat at the end.
Which almost, you could believe it, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of believe that, but I don't know. The three suspects allegedly decided to dispose of Brown's body in a trash can, then haul it with a truck to the Ohio River, where they could just dump the body. But after a day passed, they were unable to locate a truck. So what's the next best thing to do? Well, they decided to dismember Brown in order to fit him into the trunk of a car and clean the apartment. They never completed that gruesome task.
World's laziest murderers.
Well, this is what happened. So they left his torso in the bathtub because daylight came and neighbors were on their way to school and work, because I think other people lived in that building.
Yeah.
They could be seen. This has taken a long time. I mean, think about how long this would probably take to dismember somebody. So they decide, oh man, it's daylight. I can get exposed. So they left to go get high. And then they plan to return that evening to finish up. But instead, the landlord ended up walking in and discovering Brown's dismembered body and the torso in the bathtub.
Like that poor guy, he was probably there just to do work on the building.
Yeah, I think that's exactly why he went in there, was to work on the building. He was probably getting it ready to rent again or something.
Yeah.
So Esch agreed to a 15-year sentence for facilitation of murder, theft, tampering with evidence, and abuse of a corpse. Kalinda agreed to a 12-year sentence on the same charges. Both testified against Herrera. Faced with her co-defendant's testimony against her, Herrera then agreed to a plead guilty in murder, theft, tampering with evidence, and abuse of corpse, and serve 25 years in prison. Which, I don't know if she would be eligible for parole or not.
Oh.
Do you know if they said anything about that?
I don't mind my papers here. So she's eligible for parole in September. Actually, what is today, the 23rd?
Mm-hmm.
So in the year 2031, September 22nd, 2031, she is eligible for parole.
So 10 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah.
And I was thinking it said...
And if this happened in 2011, the juvenile, he should be coming out next year, right?
Yeah, because he got, what, 12 years?
Yeah. Well, this probably, court and stuff takes a while, so maybe
it was 2013 that I looked up Tiffany Herrera. Her conviction date was January 16th, 2013.
Okay.
So I believe that theirs was about the same time.
Yeah, so he's got a couple years probably, and if he's not out already, I mean, could he be out on good behavior?
I guess it's possible.
I didn't find anything saying that they were released as of yet.
They might have to serve... Well, I don't know. He might have to serve the full term.
He might. I don't know. I'm surprised there isn't more on that.
You know what? I don't think that I looked up his and Quentin's. Or, well, Quentin is the 17-year-old, the younger one.
Yeah, he'll be the one out first.
Yeah.
For sure.
But no, I didn't look up their record. For some reason, I was just like, oh, I wonder what Tiffany's... Because she's sentenced until June 3rd of 2036.
Wow.
Yeah. So when you say it like that, it's like, dang, that's like forever away.
Remember when we used to think that like 2021 was forever away?
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So family members were just to give you a little bit info about Donnell Brown. He was described by family members as like him and Herrera, they just had a friendship, and that he often gave her money. Melissa Brown, Donnell's daughter-in-law, told the police station that he just wanted to help. Quote, he would give her money to feed her little boy because he would walk in the house. Because she would be in a dope house, her boy would be eating butter out of a canister and eating crackers off the floor.
That is so sad. I wonder how old this kid. I picture like a 3 or 4-year-old.
Yeah.
Just
and Donnell himself, I mean, I'm sure that just ate him up because he had 21 grandchildren.
Oh my gosh.
5 kids of his own. So yeah, I'm sure that just devastated him.
Yeah, his son did say he would give his last dollar to feed a kid.
Yeah.
So he probably did feed that kid several times. I believe that.
Yeah.
That's awful.
Mm-hmm. What's that thing about the jewelry?
Oh, so he had jewelry that he wanted to leave to his grandchildren. His wife said, quote, his killers took the jewelry and we didn't get it back, end quote. Basically, they robbed him of everything. They pawned most of it, but Tiffany took a signet ring off of his finger and gave it to her father.
Her own father?
Yes.
Wow. And
the grandchildren didn't get anything. The sons didn't get anything. Yeah, he had 5 sons, 21 grandchildren. You try to leave them something, and this happens. But they were so focused on pawning everything. I just think it's awful. Now, his wife, Sharon, said, quote, he would never hurt anybody. He was good-hearted. He would give anybody his last time. They didn't have to do that to him. And daughter-in-law Melissa Brown said, quote, that's all that he did, and Yeah, that's all that he did. And for her to do this to him, she called him every day for money and he would help her. So for her to do this to him is just not right at all, end quote. So she really did, she took advantage of him is what it sounds like from like what his family says.
Yeah. I mean, that's how it's kind of presented.
It's presented that way, but then again, did he pay her for services?
Yeah, we don't know.
We don't know. We can only assume by the information that we found. If anybody knows more about these people and want to reach out, we did create a community page that you can find on the Operation Evil Facebook page. We just created it, and it's a way that we can make polls and like reach out to you guys, be more active and learn what you guys like and don't like. But that would be a good place to talk about this case. Maybe start a conversation.
Yeah.
I'm sure someone out there listening knows something about what's happening. If you know any of the people involved or updates, if you're one of the grandchildren, reach out.
Yeah, let us know something about Donnell that we couldn't find, that a nice little story or something.
And I did post pictures on Facebook of them, like their mugshots and stuff. And she, Tiffany, she almost looks like the kind of person that did what she did. I know that I'm not trying to say that to be judgy, or maybe it's just because it is a mugshot picture and everybody kind of looks like that. But her face is
just so like.
But you look at her and you're like, she does look evil.
Yeah. The expression
like
is just
her eyes are evil.
Yeah. Like, I don't care.
Yeah, something. I don't know. But to sit there and not only kill somebody and take their life, but to take the time to recruit people, to cut them up, clean up. I don't understand.
Well, and what's so terrible about it, too, is that Sharon Brown said that she had to assist the morticians with putting his body back together.
You're kidding me.
No. Could you imagine?
No. No. Not at all.
At least, I mean, it sounds like Donnell had some friends, like, in different places on this one news station that's based out of Louisville. So I'm guessing that maybe Ish is somewhere south in prison. Because, of course, this Louisville news station is south of us. But there's a guy named Julius Knox that was in the same prison as Ish. And they knew to keep the two apart because Julius is a friend of Donnell's. So they're around each other in the common area, and Julius attacked him.
Oh. Oh, I see what you're saying. He's got friends on the inside.
Yeah, so he must, I guess he knew a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah, because also, which was already included, by the time you listen to this, the news clip will be before any of us talking.
Yeah.
Will happen, but they said on the news that he was not a stranger to being in jail. Donnell wasn't. Like, he's been arrested for cocaine, I believe it was.
Which makes sense that it was the count in Boone County, because Burlington was Boone County. I didn't put two together at the time.
I didn't either. So he was probably still with his wife in Burlington when that happened. Or maybe he just got busted there. I don't know.
So Burlington is a small town too. So there's probably a lot of people that know him there too.
There could be. But wow. To have somebody on the inside to... Yeah.
Hopefully he beat him up a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. So that is the story of Donnell Brown in Covington, Kentucky. Yeah. I just thought the whole dismemberment of the body was, I don't know.
Yeah, but what gets me is the lazy part about it. Like, how are you going to leave a body in a tub and not finish the job?
Yeah, and not be paranoid about leaving them there. Like, it's
that just
riskier.
Shows they didn't care.
Wouldn't it be riskier to leave that apartment and go get high or do it, whatever you're going to do and return versus just staying there and somehow not being seen or heard.
There's no way they were in their right mind.
And I have posted a picture of this house too. Like this, it's not like this huge complex. So probably, I mean, I don't know. I just don't know. Somebody would have to see them leaving and coming back.
I picture a house that has like it used to be an old house and they've separated it into apartments.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it was.
Like maybe there's apartments.
Yeah.
Did it say there was an upstairs?
I don't know.
Maybe it's just like a duplex.
It looked like it, like from how the house is.
But a lot of those houses in Covington they're old. So I mean they're good size.
Yeah, they are. Very much so. All right. Thank you guys for listening to another episode. We appreciate it.
We're gonna work on getting new chairs.
Yeah, I'm sorry. These chairs are awful. And after a while, because I mean, we really sit down and try to plan things out before we press that record button. So we're sitting here for a good amount of time before we even begin recording.
Yeah, so sorry about
it's goals.
We can
only do so much at a time. However, yeah, if you have any thoughts for us, reach out. Otherwise, we'll talk to you next week. So thanks for listening. Goodbye.
Bye.